Maybe? All right, I think we're up and running. Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. It's crazy windy outside here.
Yeah, it's really windy, making it cold.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. We had warm weather this week, and then we have cold weather today, and then cool this week. But I think it's going to be warm soon. I think we got a few of you guys joining us here today. Alan, how's it going? Daryl, see you there as well. How's it going, guys?
Got
Kevin, how's it going, Kevin?
Kevin, I saw your email. I didn't get a chance to respond, but yes, I'd like your wife's information for that.
So I think one of the things I want to make sure I say when we start out here, this is the Desert Farmer Podcast. So after we have this live today, we do edit this and get it up onto the website. I have a link down below so you guys can join that there. But it's an edited version of what we're doing live here today, and a little bit shorter, and you can hear just the audio version of this. So make sure you catch that. So today I know we had said on here we wanted to do a winter recap and then also what our spring plans are, and want to hear you guys as well, and obviously take your guys' questions. But I know for us, I really think today, I feel like we wrapped up our winter this week, especially for you.
Yeah, I got fertilizing done. Mm-hmm. About time.
Thank the Lord.
That was a long time. Yeah, pruning's done. Now we're going into some spring projects. And
yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, the pruning, it seemed like pruning went on forever this year. We were pruning for probably about a month straight. I
think I've been fertilizing for a month straight.
I'm sure you feel like you've been fertilizing for a month straight. But yeah, we have, obviously when it comes to wintertime, we have certain things. Our actual farming season runs from fall through spring. So most of our production. And right now, most of that production is meat production. And that is eggs, broiler chickens, and pigs that we do here on the farm. Then we have a beef program that we do as well. And we have most of that running from about September 1st or so. And then I think we have our last processing date for chickens. It will be the middle of April. And then we have the rest of the pigs. Usually we try to get them to the processor by middle of April or so as well. So
yeah,
we've got another month and a half. And then we get to rest.
Oh my goodness. Summer, it's hard because summer time comes and it gets light outside by 4 o'clock in the morning. So we're outside by 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. But what's nice about summertime is, we start earlier, but we get to end earlier. And it feels like we might have a little bit of an afternoon break.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing is we have to start at 4:30 because it's light. But then we're done by 9, 10 o'clock. So we do have some time.
Yeah.
But here we are at the end of winter, going into spring, and we don't stop.
No.
At all.
Yeah, my hair's still wet. We fresh from being outside to shower real quick just to jump on here. Yep. All right, so we have, we said hi to those people, hi to Dragon. And then Alan, first seeds popping out of the ground today. Beans planted 2 days ago.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we're planting too. You got to get the beans in. That It is now.
Yeah.
Yep, it is now. Cool.
Chris, do you have any plans to raise any steers for butchering?
That's a really good question, Chris. And today, eventually, I'm sure we probably will. We are not raising them ourselves this round. So our cow share program is actually through some friends of ours. And that's what we're going to be doing this year. And for the time being, we're going to try with smaller livestock first, which we have several new types coming on this spring that we'll be sharing with you guys. But I think at some point steers, yes, because we want that experience and we want to be able to do that here on the farm. So I think we will. We just don't have plans for that this year.
Yeah, and we don't know if it'll end up being ones that we raise just for ourselves or for, selling as well.
Right.
We haven't decided that yet.
Well, I mean, at the very least, I don't know that we can't go through a whole cow ourselves. We go through about a quarter in a year.
Yeah,
give
but
or take.
It's a smaller one, and I don't know. Let's see. All right, Daryl, the farm is looking great. Fruit trees are awesome. I like the baby you were bottle feeding.
What?
That's Rosie.
That's Rosie. Yeah, so Rosie's going to be joining us here soon. So, not sure, well, we have an idea of what date, right? We talked to Amy about that. Amy is the breeder, also a neighbor and good friend of ours here in Whitman. And she's actually breeding mini Nubians, registered mini Nubians, and we really like them. So Rosie will be joining us soon.
Yeah, so we have Rosie, but her mama didn't make it, so she is being bottle fed.
Right.
So we did go over there and visit her and got to feed her, but
yeah,
we haven't brought her home yet.
No, we don't have enough experience, and Amy was kind enough to take care of the bottle feeding. So yeah, lost her mama. So, and they don't know for sure why. This was her third kidding, so it wasn't her first set of kids. And so it was unusual, but they weren't able to save her. So she had two sisters and Rosie, and Rosie, her two sisters are gone. Mm-hmm. So those were picked up by their new owner, and Rosie is spending time with another new baby.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Rosie will be the first of at least two, right?
Yeah.
Is the plan. So coming soon.
All right, have Pam. Hello, guys.
Hey, how's it going, Pam?
Kevin, with so many of your trees now having a decent frame scaffolds, are you going to allow more fruit this year? Just for you, for sale, you pick.
Right. So we are going to let them fruit. So we do want to get a good amount of fruit on the trees this year, at least the trees that are now 2 years old. So we have two kind of crops or sets of trees in the ground right now. We have 1-year-old trees and we have 2-year-old trees. Our oldest trees are right at 2 years old. In fact, not quite 2 years old. They were the end of March of 2020 as we planted the first trees here. So the biggest crop we'll get is mulberries, right?
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of mulberries on the everbearing. The Shangri-Las look great. The peaches, we did leave a good amount of fruiting branches on the peaches this year. So, and that was partially by design because we know that the peaches will be a cash crop for us. That's why we have so many of them. We have 12 peach trees here on the farm and 5 different varieties, but 3 main production varieties. So we want to make sure those trees are going to produce well. We will let them produce this year. It'll probably be primarily for us because it's not going to be a lot. And we're not going to let them fruit very heavy.
Yeah.
So as far as the mulberries, we may, if we get enough, we may have some U-pick opportunities with the mulberries. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if that'll be this year or not, until next year. So,
yeah, I think if anything, it would be maybe some peaches that might be available, but
yeah, peaches would probably be the only thing. I don't think we're going to have enough in the apples because they're only 1 year old. So, but our cash crops when it comes to fruit trees primarily are mulberry, peaches, and apples. So those 3. Citrus, kinda, but citrus is really common here, so I don't anticipate much there, if any. So
maybe some figs too.
Yeah, figs probably, just because there's a pretty good demand for figs. Actually, jujubes, honestly. So.
David, Happy New Year, buddy. I'm going to Asgard.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So now, are you going to Asgard to play, or are you going to Asgard to watch? I guess that's the question. But Happy New Year. So spring. So we have spring that's basically begun here. One of the things, I've got a lot of editing to do for the vlog for you guys tomorrow, but you'll see we got a lot of good shots of fruit set and also a lot of flowering that's just beginning. So spring is definitely here. We have some cold weather here over the next couple of mornings, but we got one big project out of the way today we're gonna put up for you guys next week that we needed to get done in the vineyard garden, and we have a lot of planting to do. So I know, and I think it was Alan saying that he was planting beans. We'll be doing that over the next week or two as well, as amongst other things. So we're gonna make sure that we share that with you guys. And we also have livestock. So we have our nuggets back. So I don't know if Chet, if you're out there or not, but we have our nuggets that arrived this week. So this will be our last set of nuggets, broiler chickens for the season. And those will be processing, I think, is it right before or right after Easter? I can't remember. It's either before or after.
Right after Easter.
Right after Easter. And then we'll be done with that. So
yeah.
But a lot of planting to do.
Got 2 trees planted.
What?
week.
What?
Okay, got Sam. Hey guys, Sam from
Hey.
Santan Valley.
How's it going, Sam? Santan Valley. On the east side. So, curious to see what you guys are doing too for spring. Obviously, we had this little cold snap for us here in Arizona, but it is definitely planting season, I think, for everybody. This is the overlap that we have with basically the rest of the country when it comes to spring planting. I know a lot of people are probably doing inside starts on the East Coast in the Midwest. Obviously, we're putting everything outside pretty much starting either this weekend or next weekend. We're going to be almost down to freezing the next 2 mornings. So it's putting off a few plantings that we had planned for this weekend. We'll have to wait until next weekend. So, but we'd like to hear from you guys. As far as fruit trees need to get in the ground basically now. We had some late arrivals with some things we ordered online. We planted a couple of them this week, one of them today, and we still have 2 coming that are not here yet. So one of the challenges that some of the online nurseries have with their bare root programs is us here in Arizona. They commonly ship to most of the country starting now and into April. As you guys know, folks in the know that we need those bare root trees in January and February, and we just got 2 of them this week. So we're a little behind the ball there, but we have 2 more things to plant. 1 more tree and a bush to plant as far as trees are concerned. And then we'll be done for the season at least.
Yeah. All right, we have Juan. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Juan?
You guys have goats?
We don't have goats yet. So, but they are coming. So we have our down payment on Rosie. Right?
Yeah.
So Rosie will be the first. And then Amy has at least 1 more mini Nubian birth to go. So we don't know whether or not she's going to have girls or boys. So we'll see what she has there. But we have dibs on one of those as well, I think.
Yeah. We're hoping she has another girl. Supposed to be due the end of this month. Mm-hmm. So then as long as she does have a girl, we'll get that one too. And we'll have 2. Yeah. We just haven't brought Rosie home yet. Not until April.
Not yet. So, but we do have infrastructure to build for her.
Yes.
So we'll be working on that here over the next several weeks.
Yep. All right. So we have David. Happy weekend, people. I'm getting something to eat. Keep up the great work. Don't forget to water your figs.
No, not going to forget to water those figs. Right. Ooh, that makes me want to have something to eat.
Yeah. Later. Alan planted a bunch of stuff. Beans were first to pop. First mulberries are on the trees too.
Ooh, yeah, that's good to hear. Alan, we're seeing the same thing with mulberries. Yeah. So sounds like we're kind of in that same zone as you. We have not gotten beans into the ground though because we had freezing temps just over a week ago, and we saw we were going to be getting there again. So we held off a little bit. But yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. We did get loofah in the ground.
Yes, we have a friend that sent us some seeds, so we did plant those. Yeah. All right, we have Brian got my first chickens.
Very good.
Haven't started laying yet. First beans and peas are in the ground.
Very good. Yep, beans and peas, the big seeds, definitely time to get those in the ground right now.
All right, we have Francis. Hi,
hey,
Dwayne and Lori.
How's it going, Francis?
From my up-and-coming small orchard in Queen Creek.
That sounds awesome.
We have hobby woodworkers. Sweet potatoes are just starting to push out slips. Mm-hmm. Fig cuttings just had some buds open and showing a bit of green. Spring is almost here for sure. Another week of cold, maybe 2 tops here.
Yep, we're in the same boat. So this cold snap put us a little holding pattern, but man, you've got it going on. We haven't started our sweet potatoes. We need to.
I know. We tend to get behind on stuff because we have too much going on.
The good news with sweet potatoes is they can go in really late.
Yeah.
So those can go in June and July.
All right, Kevin, potatoes and dry root strawberries in. Might cover since Vegas is also supposed to touch 32 degrees. Prime Arc Blackberry is still on the way.
Ooh, yeah, you're going to love that Prime Arc. Love that Prime Arc, Kevin. Can't go wrong with it.
Pam, what kind of jujube do you have and how big do they get?
So jujubes, well, I don't know if you mean the fruit or if you mean the tree, because the trees can get quite large. The fruit vary. They can be a half an inch in diameter, so pretty small, up to about 2 inches in diameter. We planted a new one today, so we have 4 varieties. We have a Lang, an Empress G, an Aunt Admire, and the one we planted today that I can't say. You guys have to watch the vlog tomorrow. We planted on the vlog. We planted it today, and it'll be on the vlog tomorrow, so you have to take a look at that one.
All right, Brian, you also inspired me to do grape cuttings. 10 of 18 took. Just
awesome.
got them in the ground.
That's so cool. That's so cool. You have to let us know what kind of grape that is. That's really cool. Isn't it amazing how simple that is? And that's what we all buy. So we typically buy rooted cuttings. So super simple. That's awesome.
All right, hobby, over 300 seedlings in... Is that 1020s?
Mm-hmm.
Waiting to transplant in a week or 2. Fruit trees in, but I can't see that far away.
Yeah.
Did heading cuts at 9 inches of graft.
Very
I'm
good.
going for 5 or 6 feet maximum size.
Good way to do it.
On the low scalp.
Yep, that's a really good way to do it. Ooh, I like it that you snuggled up in here nice and close.
I know. That was too far away from me. I can't see as it is. So.
I agree. You were too far away as well.
Yeah. All right. So we have go, go, go. Everything is sprouting in Phoenix.
Yes, it is. Weeds included.
Oh, gosh.
Your favorite.
Weeds are out of control right now.
Lori was telling me last week, no, just a few days ago, you want more green. Well, you got it.
Yeah, finishing my wood chips this weekend and then trees going in before the heat kicks in.
Yep, got to do it. Those trees have got to get in. Give them some time to get some roots spread out.
All right, Sam, I'm trying to stop or at least slow birds from eating all my fruit this year. Any good suggestions? How do you keep birds from eating your fruits?
Right, so we have 2 primary ways that we keep birds from the fruit. The first one would be netting. I would say bird netting is probably your best bet under most circumstances, but not all. We use bird netting for a lot of our production crops like peaches, for example. We definitely net the peach trees because the crop has a tendency to occur over a few weeks. We also fruit all of our grapes, and that's one of the reasons why we have them in the traditional vineyard rows, so it's very easy to net the entire row. So we use netting under those circumstances. Apples, generally, you don't need to worry about, at least the green ones, so the apples that we typically have here in Arizona. Figs, we use the organza bags for figs. We found those are the best way to do those, mainly because the ripening time frame is usually, again, over several weeks. That's also at the peak of their growth in the late spring, early summer, and they push through the bird netting way too fast. So you have a tendency to have a hard time netting those trees, so we go to organza bags for those. For mulberries, it's generally not a problem. So the trees are generally big enough. We can share with the birds. We get plenty of harvest off of there. And generally the trees do a fair job of keeping the birds from getting all of your produce off of those trees.
Yeah. All right, we have Pam. So she said the tree. So I'm thinking about getting an Indian Jujube.
Okay. So we had an Indian Jujube. So it's a good tree. The only thing you want to be cautious with there, if it's the Indian Giant, and usually that's what you're getting. If it's the Indian Giant, we had one on the old farm, and it grows very, very rapidly, and we didn't take that into account. We tried to prune it back because you have to prune constantly with that tree. It grows so fast, and we didn't catch the fact that we had 2 arms going opposite directions, growing too fast, and it split the trunk right down the middle, and we lost the tree. So very, very productive, extremely productive, massive size fruit. You're just going to need to watch the growth, especially in that first year or 2. Just make sure you don't damage the tree.
And then how big do those get overall?
Those get really big. They grow, I remember that one growing very wide as well, which is the problem that we had. So it had already spanned I think it was the first year in the ground, if I'm not mistaken. And it had already grown out about 15 feet total diameter. And that's when we had it split. And we had to top it. It was, I think, 8 to 10 feet tall. We topped it and it was shooting right back up again. So if it's anything like that one, it grows very rapidly. You will have to prune almost constantly, especially in the spring, late spring, early summer, in order to keep that tree in check.
All right, we have Brian. I'm not sure the variety. As far as the grapes, it was off my parents' property. I have some varieties I bought that I'll try and propagate in the future.
Very cool.
And then that was Pam with the Jujube. And then we have, are you all growing any tree collards? I just ordered 3, tried some in Oregon years ago, and they didn't root. Got rooted this time.
You know what? We have not tried those. In fact, I know I want to at some point in time, but you know what? We have not tried those. One of the things, we've tried several things as far as kind of the annual veggies. Obviously, as you know, the nice part about that one is it's perennial, at least for a few years, if you can keep it through the summertime. And we're hopeful to eventually try it. We haven't done it yet. So I couldn't say. Don't have a good one on that one.
All right, Kevin planted the 2 apples from RSI in January. Been doing B1 fish emulsion every week. Broke dormancy. How long to continue B1 fish emulsion? Should I fertilize with granules now? So it's available to the roots in late spring.
So with those, I think you're going to be fine to go ahead and stop all the supplementation. I think you're going to be fine. I know you do, I'm pretty sure you do those beds, kind of the raised beds, so to speak, for those trees of yours. So with that, I think you've given it plenty of nutrition for now. I would wait until May. In fact, the reality is you really could probably wait until September before you have to fertilize that again. I probably would wait until then. You should be fine at this point.
I think we're caught.
Good, all caught up. Mm-hmm. Very good. So,
I'm just kidding, Sam. I just planted some young tomatoes.
Ooh, very good. Actually, tomatoes, that's something that we need to get going too.
We do.
All of it. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we did not get a chance, we need to give an update everybody on, was our fall garden beds, which were an utter failure.
The grasshoppers devoured everything.
Yeah, the grasshoppers ate almost everything except for one stretch of lettuce. They obviously didn't touch the garlic. The garlic's doing great. It's getting ready to harvest here over the next couple of weeks. But the one thing we got was tomatoes. So
yeah, tomatoes and zucchini. Mm-hmm. They didn't bother those.
Nope, the zucchini did great, and the tomatoes did amazing, actually.
Yeah.
So we had tomatoes that were gifted to us from Nate and Tara, our neighbors. So they gave us their tomatoes when they had to move. And we put those in the ground thinking nothing was going to happen. And they survived really well until we got some freezing temps. It was about a month and a half or so ago. So we pulled all the green tomatoes off. It took a couple weeks, but they ripened up. Mm-hmm. And we've been making salsa ever since.
I've made a lot of salsa.
So we definitely need to get some more tomatoes in the ground for spring, and we have that planned. But that's good to hear. Definitely the time.
Yep. All right, we have Blanca. Have you planted a Frederick passion flower again? Where did you buy it?
So let's see. We got that passion fruit, I think, from Home Depot, if I'm not mistaken. They're pretty easy to find at the big box stores once you get into spring, and we have not tried it again. I don't think we will here. We lost it to 20-degree temps a few years back, and we tapped down into the 20s again this year. So I get the feeling that's going to be pretty common for us, and I don't want to try to cover a long vine like that. In theory, you would be able to just cover basically kind of the where the vine meets the ground, so you can keep that from freezing to the ground, but I don't think we're going to attempt it out here. In the city, you should be fine. I know I keep track of chill hours generally for us here, and then I also do kind of estimate chill hours for you guys in the city because I drive into town every day, and you guys are anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees warmer than we are out here almost every single day. I was seeing that very consistently with very few exceptions. So where we were tapping 20s, you guys were in the low to mid 30s. So, that extra 6 to 8 degrees is a huge difference with your tropical trees. So I don't think we will attempt that again.
All right, we have thanks, y'all. Happy I found you two.
Ah, cool.
All right, Tony, what's up, guys?
How's it going, Tony?
Haven't been in a live stream for a while.
Welcome back. Glad you're here.
Sam, I just planted some young tomato plants. I'm told I should plant in February, but we had some cold nights. Did I wait too long?
No, you didn't wait too long. So one of the beautiful things about tomatoes, especially if you wind up getting starts, I think we may actually still try seeds. I'm not sure. We'll see. We're really late, but we're going to try seeds. So
we're always late.
Yeah, we'll see. I think the thing that I've noticed the last 3 to 4 years, actually might not be 4, last at least 2 to 3 years, our Junes have been pretty mild. I'm almost afraid to say that, but if we don't get super, super hot, like over 120 in June, we stay down into the low hundreds, 110-ish, you should be able to get those tomatoes into June. So you figure if you're 90 to 120 days, you're sitting pretty right now. So, you're pushing right up against that, but you should still be okay. And you can always do some shade cloth. So if you find that you're not getting to full harvest at that point, you can put some shade cloth up on those and push them into summer just a little bit longer. We have had tomatoes actually get through the summer before. So it's possible to push your tomatoes in through the summer. You just need to make sure that you're shading them as needed.
All right, Juan, new neighbor next to you guys.
Oh yeah, so we have Nate and Tara. So we do have new neighbors. So we have neighbors to the west of us. That's Mark. He's actually they're from Oregon. Mm-hmm. So him and his buddy bought the property, the acres next to us. They started building a few months back. I don't think he's going to actually be here full time for another year. And then Nate and Tara, who are good friends of ours, they're on the east side of us. They have 8 acres there. They broke ground back in October, I believe. Had several hiccups with their construction company, but they are about to pour their pad here shortly. Yeah. So they're not far away.
Oh, check that out. Okay, Kevin, have peppers under grow lights in the garage. Started January 1st. Usually put those out on St. Patrick's Day. Usually done with 30s by then. Mm-hmm. Anaheim, jalapeno, and Cajun bell peppers.
Very good. Nice. That's really good. So you got your salsa garden going. And we want to do the same. That's a great start, Kevin. And yeah, one of the things that we have not done yet, we've attempted but not done well, is starting seeds indoors, which we need to do.
I know. We just haven't taken the time to be patient with it.
No, annual veggies are really not our forte. So we've done our fair share of them, but not experts by any means. Most of you guys out there probably know as much or more than we do when it comes to annual production, because it's not our primary focus here. So our primary focus is perennials and meat production. So the annual production is really secondary for us. So a lot of that is personal use, and then a handful of crops that we'll use for cash crops. But that's great to hear. I'm glad to hear that you got all that going on, Kevin. You got the right timing, because we've got a couple more weeks, and you're ready to go into the ground. That's great.
Yeah. All right, so we got Tony. The hottest it's gotten in my zone was 111, and that's crazy hot to me.
Yeah, so 111 is hot. 111 is common for us here, July, August, September even. We'll get those temps. Very common once we get into July and August, though. Yeah.
It's hot, okay. Juan, peaches are getting lots of fruit.
Woohoo!
Yay, excited.
That's always good. It is really hard to beat a fresh peach off the tree.
They're amazing.
I don't know that there's something better, honestly.
I don't know either. With that juice dripping down your chin.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, it sounds fantastic right now.
I can't wait.
They're all good, right? But, oh man, a peach is just hard to beat. Even if you don't like peaches. Remember, we had Gary and Cindy over, and Gary does not like peaches. So, old property, good friends of ours, and they were on the old property, and he's like, no, I don't like peaches. I'm like, you're going to try one. You got to try one. Don't say you don't like peaches until you've tried one. And it was just amazing to watch his face eating a fresh peach off the tree that he had to lean forward so that it didn't get onto his shirt, because it's just pouring down his face. And you don't taste the fuzz. You don't taste any of that stuff because it's completely ripe. Super, super sweet and juicy. Oh my goodness, I want some peaches.
So good. I know, I can't wait now. All right, we have Jennifer.
Millions of peaches.
Jennifer, hi from Chandler. Have you guys ever grown nectarines?
Yes. In fact, we have a nectarine tree here. So now, fun fact about nectarines. Nectarines are fuzzless peaches. I don't know whether you knew that or not, but one of the things that we actually learned from Reed at Our Site Growers is the challenge with nectarines is there are thrips that can get into the flower. So when it's setting on a nectarine, it can get into that area where it's actually setting inside the flower and do damage to the flowers when they're trying to set the fruit. So nectarines are a little bit more of a challenge to get fruit set versus peaches because it doesn't have the fuzz that the peaches have. So learned that from Reed. Wasn't aware of that. Mm-hmm. But to answer your question, yes. We have, I think it's an Arctic Star. Is it an Arctic Star nectarine? Pretty sure it's the Arctic Star, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So we got that from Reed. That was his suggestion. And I think it's a white flesh peach.
I think so too.
Or nectarine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we also have the Nectar Plum. So we have the nectarine plum hybrid that we're looking forward to trying as well. And got a good friend of the channel here in California, similar climate, and he says those nectar plums are amazing. So,
I can't wait. All right, so we have Darlene. Hi, Lori and Dwayne.
Hey, Darlene.
I'm sitting in the garden watching you. My peach tree is still sitting dormant. Why? It's a Florida... I'm assuming a Florida Prince peach.
That is
That's
odd, Darlene.
Yeah.
And you're out here with us, so you should be seeing fruit set on your Florida Prince peach tree. So you said you're out there now, so you know what? I don't know if you know what a scratch test is, but basically you just scratch away a little bit of the bark, typically out towards the tips of the tree, the tips of the branches. Just scrape back a little bit of the bark and see if you see green. If you see green, you're probably still okay. But unless you have that thing planted up against a house or in a spot that just gets cold that's not usual, that should have broken dormancy some time ago.
Yeah.
Or newly planted. So you have to let us know.
Yeah. All right, so Tony, do you grow strawberries?
No, we don't grow any strawberries. So strawberries for us here in Arizona are not perennial. They're annuals. So we do not grow strawberries.
I almost bought some last week.
Yeah.
I just don't know where I'm putting them yet.
There you go. Apparently the answer is not yet.
All right, Sam, I got some fig trees that I rooted this winter. They are about 12 inches tall and are waking up in my garage. Okay. I have them in 1-gallon pots. Should I put them in bigger pots to help encourage growth?
If they are new cuttings, so these are cuttings from the fall, so have to find out. Okay, so if you just
rooted this winter.
Okay, if you just rooted them out, leave them there. So what you're seeing is you're probably seeing the leaves push out from the actual, basically what's left in the cutting itself, as opposed to roots. So if you just put them in, they probably do have some roots, but I would not touch them. So let them grow. Make sure you're going to get some strong branch growth. Once you see branch growth and we get into late spring, early summer, if you wanted to pot them up, you could. But if they're in 1-gallon pots, you might be okay to put those in through the summer. If not, I would wait until kind of closer to summer. If you do wind up transplanting at that point, you're going to want to make sure they're in mottled sunlight, not direct sunlight, because you're going to have some transplant shock. So that's always kind of a little bit of a challenge. It's a little dicey when you get to that time. But that's awesome to see. I know we're seeing that with the cuttings as well. But yeah, just because you see leafing out right now doesn't necessarily mean that you have significant root growth. So,
all right. So Pam, what jujube would you suggest that is a good producer but not overly large?
So really all your jujubes are good producers, at least in our experience. So we have not come across one yet that doesn't produce well. The Indian jujube I would be hesitant on, only because we had challenges with that tree, but that was us, and there's a lot of folks in town that grow it. I think if you go with the basics, so if you go with a Lee jujube, Sherwood jujube, both of those are fantastic. Lang can, I don't know that I would necessarily do that as a single one, but it's hard to go wrong with your standard varieties. So your Lee jujube, the Sherwood jujube. Between those two, they're fantastic. They taste amazing. They grow really, really well. They are easy to control relatively, but they are very, very productive. So you can't go wrong with those. The ones that we have now, we have a Lang because we had not tried one. The Aunt Admire and the Empress G, I don't know. We've never tried those before. But the GA866, is it 866? I believe it's a GA866 is a good one. The Honeypot Jujube is also a good one. The biggest challenge is finding them. That's been the struggle for the last 2 years, is finding varieties. Even online, we've had orders canceled and multiple times. So they're just hard to find. But if you can find a Lee, it's hard to beat. Yeah, it's hard to beat that one. So.
All right, so Brian, do you guys do persimmons? I can't remember watching a pruning video on those.
Right, so you did not see a pruning video on those because the trees are not large enough to prune. So we left those as they are. We have two, so we have Fuyu and we have a chocolate persimmon. So those are the two that we're growing here. We had a giant Fuyu on the old property, set fruit really, really well. The problem is it's a fall ripening fruit, and they did not survive the bird pressure of the summer. And the tree is, it does have a tendency to struggle in our summer. So I'm assuming we'll be able to get them there. We're trying them here as well, but we didn't need to prune them. And the pruning is a little bit different because that tree grows really kind of wild is the best way for me to describe it. And we kind of let it do that. So sort of central leader as opposed to open center, because you kind of need to protect the branches. So for your tree, I know for me, I did very little pruning. I focused on crossing branches, dead branches, anything pointing towards the ground. That's really all I did with that tree on the old farm. And that's all I anticipate doing here is pretty much the same.
All right, Sam, also I know a good time to get them outside, or is now a good time to get them outside, or should I wait until we warm up a bit more?
So I would say once we get past this cold snap here over the next couple of days, you should be fine. We got nice sunny weather. It's going to be in the 60s, 70s, just beautiful. Most of the country, 60s or 70s is their spring, summer weather. That's winter weather for us here. But assuming we don't have any more drops, I would put them outside. We have our starts outside, so you'd be fine. Because they're inside, you may need to harden them off a little bit, which simply means keep them in a shady spot that doesn't get direct sunlight for at least a week or so. And then I would still keep them in mottled sun. I would not have those in full sun unless you have to. So, if you've got a mesquite tree or a palo verde or something like that, some type of shade tree, it'd be good to keep those underneath there and they get that mottled sunlight. But getting them in the sun, absolutely, especially if you're seeing leaf growth. Remember, what happens with that photosynthesis is that is what feeds those roots. So if you have good root growth down there, those leaves basically capture that sunlight and they basically pump, your glucose down and the sugars down into those roots, sets off that chain reaction in the roots. They get excited and they start spreading out, which is what you want to see. So, they need that sunlight. Was that not a good description?
That was funny. Sometimes you have such good analogies.
Yeah.
Okay, Francis, I have an Arctic Star Nectarine. It is white. Also
cool.
have a Double Delight and several peaches. Can't wait for the fruit this year. The plums and crosses are just a bonus. By the way, I just made fig jam.
Woohoo! Yeah, fig jam's amazing.
That's really good.
I love fig jam. Okay, maybe not as much as fig wine.
Yeah.
But they're different times of day. You have the jam in the morning, and then you have the wine later in the day.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Tony, what varieties of garlic do you grow?
So I have no idea.
We just bought one from the store.
Yeah, with garlic we buy it from the store. So I have a hard time spending a lot of money on garlic starts for some reason. I don't know. It's a thing that I have. It's this whole frugal mindset that I am fully ingrained in. I have been since I was a kid. And with garlic, we use garlic, and what I look for is solid size heads of garlic in the grocery store, and I buy those, and that's what we plant. So it's been a little hit or miss. We got some organic garlic that was really tiny, and of course the heads last year were really tiny. The first set of garlics we planted a couple years ago were massive from the grocery store, And then the garlics that we have going right now they look like they're doing really well as well. So but I have no clue what variety they are.
All right, so Pam, do they require pollinators, and are you going to propagate yours? That's the Jujubes.
So the only one that I know of that needs some cross pollination is the Lang, but we had Lang set on its own this past summer, so I don't know that that's necessarily accurate. And most of them are self-fruitful. So if you get a Lee, it's self-fruitful. So is the Sherwood. We had the Sherwood on the old property. So you would be fine. Those don't need pollinators.
So Darlene, the branches are scratching green.
Okay.
Just a few buds bulging, but no leaves or flowers yet.
Okay. So it's a little.
Hold on. My other peach tree is from Reed is flowering and leafing and just in the ground for 4 months. It's a Texas King.
Okay. Yeah, we have one of those as well from him. And you'll see, it's one of the reasons why we get these trees from Reed. So I don't know what's going on with your Florida Prince. The only thing that I would say is a possibility, it doesn't sound like you got that one from Reed, is that it may not be a Florida Prince. That's possible.
Yeah, because we have some varieties that are just now starting to flower where the Florida Prince is already leaf flowered and set fruit.
Yep. So we have a Reed's Big Red, which he doesn't know what the actual specific variety is. That one just flowered a week ago. We have the early Amber and the early Grande are both flowering now, and the Florida Prince has nice little peachlets on it. So it's possible that you don't have a Florida Prince peach. At the same time, if it's not on one of Reed's rootstocks, it could just be delayed, but that's really, really rare. Your Florida Prince peaches should have peaches on them at this point. That's your earliest variety here in Arizona. We're only looking at another 2 months, and we've got ripe peaches we're pulling off the tree. We've got ripe peaches in 2 months.
I can't wait. I've missed that so much.
I know, but Darlene, I'm not sure. I'm not positive. That may not have been labeled correctly. That's a possibility.
That's happened to us many times.
Yes, it has. Yep. Yes, it has.
Daryl, how are your pecan trees doing? Pecan trees grow wild here, 100+ feet tall.
Oh my goodness, I'm jealous. First of all, I'm jealous. Second of all, I'm jealous. Third of all, yeah. So we just looked at those actually this week. And we were walking the farm, walked to the back of the farm because it was nice a couple nights ago. And you can tell they're alive, but they have not started budding yet. Yeah. So they scratch well, no issues there. So I'm sure they're alive. We have 2 newly planted ones we planted a couple months ago. So obviously we're keeping our fingers crossed those break dormancy, but they definitely feel alive. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. I do remember that the pecans coming out of dormancy pretty late last year. So yeah, I think we still have some time on those.
Yeah.
The almonds have broken dormancy though.
Yes, they have flowers. Mm-hmm. Tony, I remember you telling me to keep my citrus trees in a pot for a year. So this year I'm going to plant them out. Mm-hmm. What time of year should I plant them outside?
Right now is perfect timing. So there's really only one time that citrus trees can struggle, and that's when it gets down into the 20s, at least most of your varieties. So you want to make sure they're planted before they hit that weather. So typically fall and spring are your best times to plant citrus. Technically, you can plant them in the middle of summer, but I would suggest it. You're stressing a tree out when it's already stressful. But for the most part, citrus, they might burn a little bit and get crispy in the summertime. So I would just avoid that time. Otherwise, I think you're going to be fine. I would say once we get past these 30-degree nights, if you're in the city, I don't think you guys are going to see 30 degrees here over the next couple days, so you're probably fine.
Yeah, I would get them in the ground now.
But yeah, now's a good time.
Kevin, my early Alberta peach has swollen buds and just started some green tips. Normal
Nice.
Time for that tree. Hope that gives you some comfort, Pam.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I'm guessing it might not be the right variety. We'll have to see.
All right, Juan, have you guys had any more problems with roaming cattle that used to get in the farm?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. We just had some free range cattle dropped by last night. Set off our cameras for about 30 minutes to an hour. So that was fun going through
Over
and deleting all
100
those.
clips, yeah.
That was funny. So yeah, they still come through. They don't get onto the farm here. So we don't have anything planted outside that they can get to. The closest thing they can get to is probably the guava. They could reach over the fence and get to those. But, those right now are, the tips have all died back. So they weren't interested in that. They were just munching on all your favorite weeds.
Yeah, have at it. You're welcome. All right, so Kevin to Darlene. Darlene, it was bought from Home Depot. Darn, I will never buy anything else from now on. Anywhere else from now on. Rita's awesome. Thank you for the info. My strawberries have gone through the winter and fruiting again. Nice.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah, and Darlene, it's one of the reasons we are just set on buying trees from Reed, and we suggest him over and over and over again. I mean, we've had a couple of his trees fail out of the 100 plus that we've bought from him. I don't know, a couple hundred at this point. And he uses the right rootstocks for our environment. They're known varieties. We had the one mix up where we wound up with rootstock versus a tree.
Yeah.
We had to pull out. So, mistakes happen, but when it comes to his trees, they just outperform all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's all there is to it. So if he grows it, you just need to get it from him.
Yeah.
At least here in Arizona.
All right, so Tony, I should have mentioned that I'm in zone 8B. LOL. It's getting down the 30s.
Okay. Yep. So that was the citrus, right?
Yeah.
Tony, you got the citrus? Yeah. So you want to definitely wait till you're out of the 30s. It would probably be okay, but there's no reason to take chances with that. And yeah, with 8, the challenge with 8, zone 8, 8B, you get down into the teens, do you not? I don't know. I don't remember the break. I want to say 9A is down to 20. It's either 15 or 20. You have to let me know what 8B is. I don't know what your low is. If it's 15, they're usually 5-degree increments. So that's really, really cold for citrus. 20 degrees kills citrus trees. So even fully grown ones can die at 20 degrees. So yeah, you'll be pushing it once you get down there. But as far as planting, if you're going to put those trees in the ground, definitely wait till you're back up above 40 degrees consistently. Then you can get those in the ground.
All right, Darlene. Thank you, Kevin. Pam, my strawberries are doing the same thing. They are hidden well under other plants and trees, so I think they stay protected.
Very cool. Yeah, very
That's
cool.
Good. Kevin, agree with RSI. Drive several hours to go get my trees from him.
Yeah, that was cool to meet you when you came back from seeing Reed, Kevin. But yeah, you'll see. Even for you out there in Vegas, they're just better. It's the right rootstocks. And Reed's real harsh on not using other rootstocks. We've had some success with other rootstocks, but we don't have the consistent success that we have with his rootstocks on the right tree varieties. So yeah.
Pam, have you ever purchased from Alan at Queen Creek Tropicals?
That's a good question.
No.
I don't think we've ever seen. I'm not sure I've seen that one. And I'm assuming by the name that it's just tropical trees, and we generally avoid tropical trees. But I'm trying to think, what was the name of that one? But that was downtown. That wasn't in Queen Creek. We did get a loquat tree, a tropical concept. That's what it was. Yeah, that wasn't in Queen Creek. No, I'm not familiar with that one. All right. Are we good? Are we caught up? I think we are.
Tony, well, in my area, it gets down to 20. I haven't seen it get down to the teens in a couple of years. I live in Lancaster, California, like an hour drive away from LA.
Okay. Yep. So I know where you're at. I didn't realize Lancaster was 8B territory. That's interesting. So, yeah, I think you're still going to be okay. The soils are fine. Obviously, California is known for citrus. So the other issue would be, I didn't know you're in Cali. So the other issue would be soil. But yeah, you should still be fine. Teens are just really tough on certain varieties. So like I know pomelo is not very tolerant to cold. But your typical varieties, so like your navel oranges and things like that, are going to be just fine. Lime would be the other one that might be a challenge. I know our lime tree struggled when we got down into the 20s. I don't recall the others. I think mandarins are usually pretty hardy as well. So I'm not sure what varieties you got, but you're probably, either way, you want to wait till you're up above 40 degrees.
All right, so Pam, this Allen in Queen Creek, he is super knowledgeable and stays small. He has a lot of different things.
Oh, that's good. And that's good to hear. So I know a lot of the nurseries, they may carry tropical trees, but then they also carry a lot of good trees, peaches and all your traditional trees.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we have Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Reed is the best, and he won't lead you down the wrong path.
No.
Definitely don't mention Seamus O'Leary to him, or he will go off on a tangent of how awful he is.
Oh my goodness.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see him doing that. So we bought a few trees from Seamus O'Leary. So no tropicals, but actually our original. So fun fact. So the Shangri-La mulberries that we have here on the farm were taken as cuttings from the Shangri-La mulberry from the other farm, or air layers, from the other farm. But that tree was purchased from Seamus O'Leary.
Yep.
So what was that, 5 years ago now? I want to say it was 6 years ago?
6 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was 6 years ago. So, yeah. So there you go.
All right. Deerall Arctic Frost is the most cold hardy Satsuma hybrid tested so far, having survived temperatures as low as 9 degrees at the Texas A&M research.
That's awesome. And Satsumas are good.
Yeah. All right. So Pam, I see a lot of people who feel negative about Seamus. Why is that? Is it so hard when you were new? Oh, it is so hard when you were new and looking for trees.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, we've bought trees from him. So we had, let's see, the white mulberry I know is from Seamus O'Leary. So when he was bringing in bare root trees, we got that from him. We bought a Barbados cherry from him that didn't survive, but we got it from him. We have the Shangri-La. That might be it. I don't think we bought too many things from him.
Yeah.
But that was when he was. We never went to his original place when he was in North Phoenix, but we did go to his place in Glendale when he was selling out of the place in Glendale. But we haven't been to the new one. Yeah. So I think for me the only thing really is just that he sells predominantly, not all, but predominantly tropical trees, and we're just too cold to grow tropical trees out here. Yeah. So I mean, if I was gonna go and buy a mango, chances are pretty darn good I'd probably go see Seamus. So, and you know what? He knows what he's talking about when it comes to that stuff. So, I don't know. And everybody has their own opinions. And you know what they say about opinions. And I'm an opinionated dude myself, so.
Yeah. And we've never had any issues with him. And
no.
I think, yeah. Anyways.
I mean, his sense of humor is sometimes a little raw. But so is Reed.
Yeah. All right. Juan, you guys growing watermelon?
Oh, good question, Juan. Not yet. Not yet.
We tried last year, but we put them in too late, and we got tiny little watermelons that got eaten. Yeah,
they got eaten by our turkeys when we let them in there. So no, not yet. Obviously, watermelon actually does really well here. So So we're going to be sharing with you guys what we're doing with the old pig areas. So we have 4 large old pig areas now. So we got the two areas that they were in this year are designated for something very specific. And then last year we grew the sorghum in the second pig area. We cut all that back and we're letting that kind of do its fermenting thing and being groovy over the wintertime here. And we plan on planting into that. The biggest thing that we have here is we need to protect those from rabbits. That was our biggest challenge, is keeping them from rabbits. So if we can figure that out, we're hoping to have watermelon, probably some cantaloupe. If we can do that, we'll see. And then some gourds in that area.
All right, so we have Kevin. Saw videos from fall of 2020 where you compared chicken manure versus Fertizona on Kumquats.
Mm-hmm.
You had pretty good results at the time from both. Are you still testing that? How are the results today?
So we pretty much have gone away from the Fertizona at this point because we're in the soil building stage in that area. I don't know that we saw a difference, which I think is the reason why we've stuck to just the chicken manure, because we didn't see a difference. And I was anticipating one. I thought for sure that the Fertizona we would see a spike in the growth from the Fertizona, and we didn't. So, in the fact that obviously chicken manure we have here available to us. So we've basically taken all of our citrus at this point. In fact, Lori just did it. So Lori just went through and fertilized basically every fruit tree on the farm. It was amazing.
That was a lot.
Man, you're incredible for so many reasons. Anyways, so we've gone to just chicken manure on all of the citrus. And the reason being is because the nitrogen content is nice and high in chicken manure. It's the base to bioflora crumbles, which we really prefer. And we really want to shy away from the chemical fertilizers once we've gone past essentially the root ball of the tree, maybe even into that 2 feet or so from the tree, because that's soil building is not really happening there. That is kickstarting a new tree growth. So I don't have a problem with a chemical fertilizer to give it that kind of little oomph to get that first 6 months of growth in. But I didn't see a big difference. So we have discontinued using it because we're really focused on the production and enhancement of soil around those trees at this point. Good question. I forgot that we did that test, honestly.
I guess we have to write these things down.
Yeah, we should.
All right, Pam, I agree on all points as far as the Seamus. And then Eric, are the turkeys still performing their adult show?
Yeah, they were X-rated again today. Just about every day. Oh, and you know what? We actually got our first 3 turkey eggs this week.
We did. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, 4. We've gotten 4.
4? Oh, 4. Mm-hmm. That's right. We ate one.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah. It wasn't bad. It was a chicken. Tasted just like chicken. Like everything else. Yeah. But no, we actually we have 3 more that we may try to incubate if we can figure that out. The biggest thing is just seeing how well they wind up laying. So they're very inconsistent with laying so far. But yeah, they're still having a good old time.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I go at it all the time.
Yeah, they do.
All right, Darlene, Arizona is one of the top states for growing watermelon.
Yeah. We've got the weather for it, and pretty much now's the time to get them. I mean, I guess over the next month or so to get those into the ground so that they're ripe here in the summer, beginning of summer. I believe is timing. Yeah, it's good.
So we got to get started then.
We do. So, what do you think? We're just about at an hour?
Yeah, it's just before 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we're close. So, winter recap. Obviously, we're pretty much done with most of our winter projects and growth at this point. Everything is starting to come to life. We've got a great turn in weather. We're starting to see the green. We've got flower buds on most things at this point. They're all starting to spring back, literally. So we're looking forward to that. We have a lot of planting to do. We have a lot of new livestock coming onto the farm this spring, and we're hopeful that you guys will join us. You guys know that we love getting questions and comments from you guys, also suggestions. So if you guys have those, several ways of getting a hold of us through our website, email, here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all those things. But we'd love to hear from you guys there. We'll catch any last questions or comments here as we wrap up. But one of the things we started with was reminding you guys that we do turn this into our podcast. It's the Desert Farmer Podcast. The only way to find that is through our website right now. We have a link down in the description of today's live stream that'll link you to our podcast page. So it has all of our prior live streams and podcasts. I think we're on 8 or 9, something like that at this point. Those are audio only versions of what we do here on YouTube when we're with you guys, and it condenses it down to predominantly just the Q&A portions, and would love to see you guys there or here as well. So any last minute questions?
Not questions. We had Kevin say that had chickens as a kid.
San Fernando Valley.
Then always surprised when you get a double yolk.
Yes.
Even got a triple once.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we've gotten the doubles, never a triple.
Doubles, yes, but never triples.
Yeah. And then it's just, have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy the
Awesome.
show. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for doing this. So glad you guys do this. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, I'll tell you what, we talk about this. I've say it multiple times, but one of the most valuable thing that we have here on the planet is time. And you guys choose to spend that time with us. I know Lori and I don't take that for granted. We enjoy every moment. Sometimes it is a scramble to get on here with you guys. But once we sit down in the chair and the lights go on and the camera goes on, we forget about all the other stuff and we realize we're just talking to you guys. So we really do enjoy this time. It is precious, and we just thank you guys for spending the time with us. And also to all the new viewers, we've had several new viewers, so to see you guys here is really, really cool.
Yeah. And then Juan, hoping for a wet monsoon this year. It's been very dry.
I agree. Yeah, we basically got spit on yesterday when it comes to the rainstorm that just came through. So hopefully we'll get more than just spit.
Let's hope so.
This spring and summer.
All right. Darlene, Lori, you have blossomed. You really shine and look so comfortable. I'm not comfortable. I do better when he's the focus, not me. So if it's just me, I still have a hard time.
I think you are wonderful, just you. How about that? I agree 100%.
I'm glad we get to break up your day.
You definitely, you guys definitely
let us have a break.
It is literally a break. It's literally a break. Well, guys, again, it's been a pleasure having you guys here today. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and are really looking forward to spring. So
Yes.
It is coming. Spring's right around the corner. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Pam said Lori looks amazing.